welcome back to Casey on Tap, everybody. It's great to have you. Daylight is back. March Madness is back. Carnivore Casey is back, checking in at 24 days and counting on the carnivore diet. Alcohol-free Casey checking in at 3,349 days and counting. That's what's up. On fire, baby. Feeling amazing, ready to share a few more nuggets with you this week, perhaps, okay? But first, of course, new faces, new places. We got to thank you as we continue to grow all over this great nation, all over this great world of ours. Welcome, Smyrna, Tennessee. Hope I'm saying that right. Smyrna, Tennessee. Welcome, Strongsville, Ohio. What up, Strongsville? Middletown, Ohio. I see you, middies. I see you, middies. And Cornelia, Georgia, just to name a few. Hundreds upon hundreds of cities, thousands upon thousands of listeners. Welcome again. Thank you so much for being part of Casey on Tap Nation. Now, let's dive into how this practice of intentional sacrifice, whether it be alcohol, whether it be carnivore diet, can help you reclaim the power, your power, and unlock new levels of freedom. Huh? Sound good? No better time to start than now, right? The Lenten season, Easter right around the corner. We've got Lent. What up to all my Catholic friends? Okay, the practice. The spirit of already being primed for a little bit of self-sacrifice and self-reflection. This episode is for anybody out there who feels like they just need to tighten things up. They need to sharpen the edges a little bit. Any aspect of your life, whether it's your health, your mindset, your routine, your habits. This episode is about pushing yourself into a higher level of discipline. It's the word of the day, is discipline. Now, if you'd like to know whether something in your life has power over you, okay? If you'd really like to know, I mean, you know, probably. But if you really want to know, simple challenge from old Case. Fast from it for 30 days. Food, alcohol, any habit or habitual activity that perhaps you're attached to and it's holding you back in a negative way. Give it a month. It will reveal a ton about your relationship with said thing. It's in the absence of that thing that you'll truly, truly see and feel how much it might be holding you back, right? Influencing your decisions, occupying your precious mental space. The beauty of taking a break, fasting, stepping out of the fog to see the fog is the clarity and perspective you will gain. Remember, the word is discipline. Discipline is your true path to freedom. Discipline equals freedom. You want to write that down. You want freedom from alcohol, freedom from food, freedom from impulses, freedom from whatever. Write it down. Discipline equals your freedom. It's not going to happen on its own. Okay? It's not going to happen naturally. Clearly, it's a habit. It's formed deeply entrenched in your subconscious, in your mind, your body, your soul. We must look at it, game plan, and execute said plan to whatever direction it is you want to move into. The more control you have over yourself, okay? This is about you. Casey on Tap is about you, right? It's not about your mama, your daddy, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your dog, your cat, whatever the things that people blame things on all day, every day. It's about you, just me and you now. Let's work on this on the inside. We clean out all the garbage. We get this all organized and functioning on the inside out. Then is the impact we will see moving forward on other things and things outside of us. Relationships, job performance, exercise performance, relationship with children, et cetera, et cetera. It starts here, right? So your choices, your impulses, your habits, the more control you have over these things, the more you can create the life you actually want to live. It doesn't make any difference if you're 15 years old or if you're 80 years old. We're still here, baby. We still got time. Our story's not written. The pen is still in our hands. The best chapters are yet to come. You understand? The life you want to live. It's there. It's still here. It's there. It's right in front of us. Comfort and convenience that feels good in the moment, that instant gratification. Real strength comes from mastering self and delayed gratification. For me, the example I'm using is the carnivore diet. It's just the vehicle for this example. Okay, alcohol is obviously a tremendous example, but I'm using the carnivore diet. That's the vehicle. I am using it. I'm 24 days in, going into my 25th day, almost 4 weeks, because I just wanted to send myself into a different stratosphere of discipline that I'm talking to you about. To strip everything down, to remove the distractions, to see what happens when I operate with pure focus. And what I've learned so far, my friends, and I'm hoping to share with you, has been very powerful, very powerful. So this episode, okay, I'm going to break down the top 10 lessons. All right, I've got a top 10 here for you in no particular order, right, that I've gained so far from 24 full days on the carnivore diet. The diet is the framework. The real takeaways apply to anything in life that requires you, okay, to have discipline, commitment, and mental toughness. So let's get into it without further ado. Number one, simplicity is one of the greatest strengths. One of the first things that became clear to me is just how simplified eating becomes on this particular diet. There's no need to count calories. You don't track macros. You don't analyze complex ingredient lists. Okay? My focus is entirely on what? High quality animal-based foods, primarily meat, chicken, red meat, steaks, ground beef, fish, salt, water. This shift has significantly reduced decision fatigue, right? No longer spending time debating on what to eat, when to eat, where to eat, what to get, what to buy, what to cook. Okay? Instead, I get hungry, I eat those things until I'm not hungry and move on with my day. It's that simple. This level of dietary simplicity is not only time efficient, but also mentally liberating. Number two, my energy levels are more stable than they ever have been. Prior to starting this carnivore diet, I was accustomed to periodic energy fluctuations, especially post-meal crashes in the afternoon. Anybody relate to that? Mid-afternoon, like, oh man, I need some coffee. I need to get pushed through this. Since eliminating carbohydrates and relying on animal fats for energy, I have noticed a remarkable steadiness in my energy levels. No sudden dips in energy, no sugar crashes, no urgent need for snacks between meals. My body has adapted to using fat as its primary fuel source, which appears to offer more consistent, long-lasting energy. This has been especially beneficial for my productivity and focus throughout the day. I mean, sometimes I'm like a dog out there, squirrel, car. It can be a mess. But now it's interesting how much better it is for production and for my focus, which leads me to number three. Mental clarity has increased significantly. One of the most surprising benefits has been the improvement of overall mental clarity, folks. I've experienced noticeable reduction in brain fog, improved concentration, and enhanced cognitive function. That's the bottom line. Tasks that once felt mentally taxing now seem much more manageable. My ability to focus for extended periods has absolutely strengthened. This can be attributed to the elimination of processed foods, plant anti-nutrients, sugar. They can all contribute to inflammation and cognitive sluggishness. Additionally, the brain's preference for ketones as an efficient energy source may be playing a role in this newfound clarity. Who knows? Whatever it is, I like it. I like it a lot. Number 4, my sleep. Cannot explain the difference in my sleep. It is improved dramatically. Perhaps the most profound change. I experienced night and day improvement in sleep quality. Before carnivore, of course, waking up, you can't fall asleep, tossing and turning, you know the drill. Struggling to fall back asleep, feeling terrible, groggy. Sometimes it's just almost unbearable, just if you can't sleep. For those of you that struggle with sleep, you understand what I'm saying. Now, believe it or not, I fall asleep fast. I sleep deeply and soundly and wake up feeling truly refreshed. I got the Apple Watch data to prove it. It's insane. It's like these last 3 weeks, it just says consistent across the board. 6 hours, 6.5 hours, just rock solid. Boom. It's before it looked like a EKG, you know. So there's a very good chance the improvement to the sleep is linked to what? More stable blood sugar levels, of course, reduced inflammation, the elimination of stimulatory foods that I wasn't even thinking of eating, whether before bed or just a couple hours before bed, throughout the day, interfering with my sleep cycle. Whatever the reason, again, this alone has been not only a game changer, but 100% worth dedicating myself to this carnivore diet as long as I have. Number 5, I've lost 10.3 pounds without counting calories. What the heck's going on here? One of the most tangible changes, obviously, is weight loss of over 10 pounds in 24 days. It's incredible, right? I haven't been restricting my calories. I have not intentionally eaten less. I'm not saying that I haven't had a caloric deficit, but it's not in the sense that we all think about diets. And I mean, I'm full. I eat till I'm full. I eat till I'm full. When I'm hungry, I eat, right? Eliminating processed foods, sugar, plant-based anti-nutrients has helped my body shed excess water weight, inflammation again. What about my increased fat metabolism? Shifting your body into a fat-adapted state, right? It becomes way more efficient at using stored fat for energy instead of the carbs and processed foods that we put in our body. Not to mention the alcohol that shuts everything down. It's got to process the alcohol out immediately. Natural appetite regulation. Protein and fat are incredibly satiating. And I know that now more than ever. It's naturally reduced my meal frequency. I eat 2-3 times a day. And my overall caloric intake without any effort. It's just what it does. And finally, improved insulin sensitivity. Without carbohydrate spikes, my body is managing blood sugar much more efficiently and reducing fat storage signals. The body's not saying store fat. The weight loss has been effortless. It's felt effortless, I should say. And I haven't experienced the usual hunger, cravings, or energy crashes that usually come with your normal diets. Number 6, feeling hungry on the carnivore is much different. Much different. It feels fundamentally different. Standard diet, especially one high in carbohydrates, hunger often feels urgent, leading to frequent snacking. Now, hunger develops gradually, and it feels way more natural, like a natural cue, okay, rather than a sudden demand for food. Protein and fat provide long-lasting fullness, meaning I don't experience cravings. I've said that before. I'll say it again, the way I used to. Without blood sugar fluctuations, I feel fuller, longer, and naturally eat fewer meals per day. This has reshaped my relationship with food in a big way. It's amazing going to the grocery store now and you just beeline for the meat section. You can go grab some cheese and eggs, and that's it. It's incredible. Eating feels much more intuitive now than emotional, if you will. Number 7, digestion. Who knew? It's something we take for granted constantly. We don't even really think about it until now. Bloating, gone. Discomfort, gone. Gas, gone. it seems to utilize my body seems to be utilizing the food way more effectively. It's bizarre. I found that my digest my digestive process has become more predictable and consistent. It's really something. Number 8, the ultimate elimination. By removing all potentially dietary irritants. I mean, there's so many things that I now know that could have been causing, I mean, irritation, inflammation, sleep issues. It's just the list goes on and on. Focusing exclusively now on just animal food, it becomes so much easier to identify how specific foods impact your body. Never felt so clean and so lean and so efficient on the inside as I have these last 3+ weeks. Electrolytes and hydration are crucial. Okay. When transitioning to the carnivore diet, your body is going to retain less water, which could lead to a more rapid loss of sodium, potassium, magnesium. Replenishing those minerals, which I do with the element LMNT, if you want to look those up on Amazon. The unflavored little packets, it's specifically for this type of diet. Put it right in your water, drink it, boom, no problem. But replenishing these minerals, it's a really good idea to avoid symptoms like fatigue and headaches, and crush your water, man. I drink a gallon of water a day right now. You don't need to drink that much, but it probably at least 8 to 10 full glasses of water, if not half a gallon. Err on the side of more water, baby. We're flushing it out. Okay, you're flushing it out. And finally, number 10, the diet is actually more sustainable than I expected, because carnivore naturally regulates your appetite. It eliminates cravings and provides steady energy. It doesn't feel anywhere near as restrictive as I thought it was going to feel. By eliminating so many potential irritants, it's crazy how you can actually listen and feel to your body much differently than before. There's no guessing about how different foods are making me feel. I now know exactly what works, how it works, why it's working. That level of certainty and confidence is something I just simply have not had ever. Here's an interesting angle to think about, if you will. You on the fence of a major life change? Have you been struggling between the ears? Major life change like putting down the booze, or perhaps stripping your diet down to the essentials? The more I think about the benefits of both the carnivore diet and the giving up in the freeing of freeing myself of alcohol over 9 years ago, the more I realize it's not about what I've cut out. It's about what I've gained. The fear is that you're going to be losing things. That's the fear. That's the inherent fear. When what we gain is so much more powerful. And I don't think people put that top of mind often enough. So I'm trying to help you with that. It's not just the clarity, the energy, the improved sleep, weight loss, it's the freedom. Nobody out there listening right now, nobody would say that they deserve or want anything in this life except their unconditional, undeniable freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of their happiness. Nobody would say otherwise. Yet, so many of us aren't truly free. And we're constricted and confined by these substances that are just laughing their asses off in our faces from the shelf miles away from our home, knowing that we are coming to get them again. Don't you worry, they're coming to get me. Come to mama, come to papa, come get me. I'm Maker's Casey, come get me. I'm the Maker's Mark Collin. No. I broke free from that. So can you. Both of these practices have forced me to confront things that I was obviously allowing me to hold back in a major way. Food and alcohol were two things I'd never, ever questioned before. I was just doing what was easy, what was familiar. Does that sound familiar? But by committing to both of these changes, I personally have discovered much, much different level of discipline, and a discipline that comes from a freedom I didn't know was missing. How do I celebrate it? It's about sharing with you, acknowledging the process, and reflecting on how far I've personally come. For me, huge part of the process. I've been journaling, writing down how I feel each day, tracking my energy levels, my moods, my thoughts. It's incredibly grounding and humbling to see how much more present I am and how much more intentional my decisions have become. It really is something. I mean, the only thing is I wish I would have started 20 years ago, you know? So if you're listening and thinking, I don't know if I could do that, whatever that is, please listen to me. If anybody understands, I understand. Of course, the hardest part is the other big D word. The one we're talking about today is discipline. But the hardest part is the decision. It's the hardest part, the first day or two, the day before, when you're making the commitment, the decision, which means what? To cut off all other choices. I'm going to eliminate sugar from my diet. Boom. I'm going to eliminate alcohol from my life. Boom. But the results, to say the results are worth it, is one of the greatest understatements ever said. The freedom that comes with taking control of your habits, breaking free of the things that have power over you or that you think have power over you, it's unparalleled. There's nothing like it. Think about this. What else matters? People talk about priorities. Oh, my money, my status, my kids, my job, my family. I got bad news for you. Those are all incorrect answers because none of those matter if you don't have your health and your freedom. You are holding yourself back from being the free, beautiful, unique, miraculous, awesome self that you're intended to be. Well, then how can you be that for everything else in your life? Start in here. Take a risk. Put the booze down. See what happens to your relationships. Be a man, be a woman, be a grown-up, be a parent. Put the booze down for 30 days. See what happens. Okay? If you struggle with the food, stop eating the sugar for 30 days. Just stop it. You can. You absolutely can. And the only thing holding you back, the only thing keeping you in that cage is you. The more you stick with it, the more benefits begin to show up. It's momentum, not just your body, but your mindset, your relationships, and your life. So if you're thinking about making the change, carnivore diet, alcohol, even something smaller that feels majorly significant to you. It doesn't have to be a huge life-altering decision, whatever it is. The decision of self-improvement. Hey, maybe I want to read a book for the first time in a long time. Whatever it is, just know that it's the discipline. Look in the mirror. Understand that it's going to take, we have to do something different than what we've been doing. It's the discipline and the consistency. I will read 2 pages per day for 50 days, whatever it takes. The rewards, the freedom and clarity and energy and confidence, they're all waiting for you on the other side. All of them are waiting for you, begging for you to come sprint into their arms. And it's discipline and consistency that'll get you there. The best part, you get to celebrate your journey in your own way. This is your life, man. This is your life. And perhaps it's been a bad day. Perhaps it's been a bad week or a tough month or a challenging year or an incredibly challenging life so far. I have great news for you. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, every passing moment is a chance for you to turn it all around, baby. The story does not end as long as you still have the pen in your hand. We're still here. You and you alone are the one that gets to write your story. Don't ever forget that. It's not the people around you. It's not the mean people. It's not the nice people. It's not the people telling you should do things. You should. It's you, baby. It's you. So keep writing your story and write it any way you like. It's a beautiful thing, okay? This kind of freedom is yours to define. Now, I leave you this week with 3 powerful words: discipline, clarity, and control. Take control of your habits. I implore you to find something that really challenges you. It does not have to be a diet. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It's something that forces you to think, act, and make decisions differently than you've been thinking, acting, and making decisions. You will operate mentally, spiritually, physically at such a higher level that way. You'll be beyond glad you did. And make sure you drop comments on the progress. I want to hear about it. I'd love to be part of any journey with you when it comes to self-improvement and writing that story the way you want to write it. Okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. That's all for now. I will have another update next week. Carnivore Casey, rocking, rolling, staying strong, staying lean, staying mean. So until next time, God bless. Stay safe. Stay curious. Eat your red meat. And I'll see you next week. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.